do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought they could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when I tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and our home team. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and our home team. Hello, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
In the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now let's take a look here at the Bills offense.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the first-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, 2 traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll set up a throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. But it'll be second and goal. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here.
Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down. Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Wentz now on first down. Allen's got it complete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And one of the guys to watch out for out of this group is the man on the outside, Keenan Allen.
His versatility, able to play outside the numbers, come back inside to the slot. In any case, you've got to find ways to get him the ball.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Let's go. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sand.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers who do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. I'm coming. Now.
On first down, it's Jones. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Complete to Jones. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now Jones. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. From 13 yards out, and the Bills will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down now, it's Drake, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now a play fake. Wentz. Open man, it's Allen. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On play action, it's Wentz. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. He's got Allen. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Going deep here for Allen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Hey, Echo.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure this guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work, get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Up at the 29 now. They'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. With a tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if it was to bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wentz now to throw. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Now Austin. 1:52 to play until halftime. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable, and there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he hits Drake. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Wentz again. Complete. Smith has it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. This is caught. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try to punch it in with Davis. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The kick by Bryant is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat...
It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. So we have... Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Right back to Drake. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a draw play with Drake. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Austin. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's it, baby.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they were backed against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
Out from the shadows of their goal line. Here's 1st and 10 from the 11.
Tighten up. Stick, pull it high.
They'll run it with Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on 1st down. They'll drop the throw, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now back to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. He'll drop to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the fourth quarter. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Bills will add on to their lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed. In this weather, I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that, the process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
To throw, it's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. But it'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz. It's complete to Drake. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He is going to find Hill here. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5.
Hey, Wood, get it.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Waiting.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
70, Indy. Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Julio Jones once again the intended target. And now it's second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man is Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Let's go. 60 or. Watch the run. Watch the run. Deep grip. Deep grip.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Rashawn Perriman, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the home team here, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it,